Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. This one sent by Sladex, another community cast, and it's pretty silly. But I'm going to have words with him. He promised it's a mirror match, and yeah, 20 stacks of Greenskins. And it's not. It's not. No, his opponent only has 19 units. So like 39 units in a game? Pathetic. So yeah, I'm going to have words with him. Strong, strong words. But other than that, I guess it's passable. So here we see he has goblins, front line of Savage Orc Biggins, and yeah, these guys, they will just smash anything else except Black Orcs in the front line. Obviously they're weak to arrows, but yeah, they've just got such great weapon strength and good melee attack. They're going to be able to do a lot of hurt. They will be able to cleave through mostly anything in the Greenskin front line. It's only really Black Orcs that are going to be a problem. But of course he knows that, which is why he's got a ton of trolls. He has 3 units of trolls. These guys backing up the front line. Even Black Orc's going to suffer horribly. He's also got the Rusty Arrows for sundering armor. He's got some other Orc Arrow Boys, which I think is a good pick. Again, you know, they're not terrible in melee, the Orc Arrow Boys, so pretty handy. Also here, Goblin Archers. So the Orc Arrow Boys, they should actually be able to fight off things like Wolf Riders and stuff like that fairly well. So it is nice to have, especially against other Greenskins. More Orc Arrow Boys in the other side there. He's led by a Night Goblin Warboss, and he has a Night Goblin Shaman, which is very cool. He's got some Spider Riders, but he's got a ton of stuff over here too. He has both the Regiment Renown Night Goblins, so he has the 8-Peak Loonies and the Warlords Boys, and he has 3 more units of Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So just tons of poison, you know, good armor piercing, cheap Lord and Hero, which is very nice. I mean, the Tormentor Sword, very handy on the Night Goblin Warboss, and great spell selection. And yeah, really good anti-large here. He's got everything covered. He's got everything covered. But his opponent, now this is nice. So he has 4 units of Night Goblins on this side, which is pretty cool, because usually you just run straight down this way, and if these guys can sneak around the back, they can cause a lot of problems. But of course, there's other sneaky things happening on this side anyway. But also, he does have 1 unit of Black Orcs. Yeah, if 3 trolls focus down these Black Orcs, they're not going to survive for very long. He has a load of just standard Savage Orcs himself. These Savage Orcs, obviously they're going to just slaughter the Goblins. And they do outnumber the Biggins. Even though they don't outclass them, they do outnumber the Biggins slightly. So, yeah, they might be a bit of a problem. Also, he has some extra Night Goblins back here as well for even more sneakiness. He also has 2 Goblin Rock Lobbers to force them to move and to help counter other, you know, Black Orcs on the other side, which of course there aren't any. So there's no great targets for these Rock Lobbers, to be honest. But he does have a couple of Goblin Archers, he has a great Goblin Shaman, and he has an Arachnarok Spider. The Arachnarok Spider is going to take forever to take down. It's tough. These things will take a lot of punishment, and they cause terror, they're very scary, they do a lot of damage. It's very difficult. I mean, trolls, yeah, great armor piercing, but they're going to run away a lot fighting something like an Arachnarok, so it makes it very difficult. So, speeding things up. So you can see the Night Goblins, they're trying to get sort of into the middle straight away. Some of them are peeling off, because, yeah, seeing all these Forest Goblin Spider Riders, they don't really want to get caught out, and they know they're going to get caught out. So these guys get spotted, but these 2 haven't yet. So the Rock Lobber opening fire on the Savage Orc Biggins, good to soften up that front line. You know, you want that front line to suffer early, because, well, you outnumber it, right? So you want to make sure you can make the numbers count even more by killing a few with some rocks. I think that's the way to do it. Now you can see the Goblin Archers are running forwards too, to try and get on top of Slade X's Savage Orc Biggins. And again, that's going to be a problem for them, you know. They're not good against Archer Fire. So that is going to be a lot of good value early. But over on this side, these Night Goblins have been pinned down by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and the 8-Peak Loonies are just better than them. And now, you can see the Fanatics flying, getting a lot of damage into these Night Goblins. 1 unit already broken, the other unit soon to be. And he's got a spare unit over here that can start moving in too. Forest Goblin Spider Riders, 1 unit right around the back. And over here, the Night Goblin Warboss has charged straight in to try and deal with some of these archers. They've taken a load of archer fire themselves, and these Savage Orc Biggins are still in the fight, but they're about to fight Black Orcs, which they weren't going to win against anyway. So that's tough. But the trolls are starting to move in, which is very nice. So none of them quite using the War just yet. Both waiting for more of their units to be involved. Honestly, I think the Savage Orc army here could have used it by now. I think they could have used it by now. But I guess they wanted to get these Night Goblins in too. Anyway, Slade X has procced the War, and now his opponent's remembered. So there we go. War for everybody, which basically just means that everyone's going to die. Everyone's going to take horrible, horrible, horrible damage, because it's all melee attack buffs on both sides. So thousands are getting killed right now. Thousands. So a ton of arrow fire on this Arachnarok. including the rusty arrows, so the armor is being sundered, but it's an Ragnarok. They still have 120 armor, even after losing 30. It's sort of ludicrous. And over here you can see some of the trolls are getting dealt with already. There are still some units running around, you know, still a couple. But here the Ragnarok is going straight for the Lord. It is quite a squishy Lord, the Night Goblin War Boss. He's going to take a lot of damage very quickly. But the backline is in absolute disarray for the Savage Orcs here, you know, for the Bloody Hands. So yeah, it's just these Spider Riders are so useful for just harassing that back line. Anything starts fleeing, you can chase them off, and that's one thing that Sladex has that his opponent doesn't. He has a lot of maneuverability, he has a lot of very quick units, and there's always going to be stuff routing, but it's when they come back, and, you know, another war is procced, you can still get a lot of damage in. But if you can keep chasing things away and getting these rear charges, you're going to deal with them, you know, against a low leadership faction. That's the perfect way to deal with it. And yeah, sure, they're both low leadership factions, but it looks like Sladex has the advantage there. He has more tools at his disposal, which is definitely useful. Of course, the Ragnarok is a massive roadblock, get a lot of work done, but under all of this fire, it is very difficult. But there are a ton of Savage Orcs that have managed to get through the front line and into the back, so a lot of these Goblin Archers can start suffering against the Savage Orcs. You know, what can be done with a little Goblin unit coming back, some Trolls are coming back, everything is just being thrown to plug up this gap. In the back here you can see a mixture of Trolls and Forest Goblin Spider Riders dealing with the Shaman and the Black Orcs, or at least trying, but now some Archer Fire is coming in, and that could be a real problem. Trolls do not like getting shot at a lot. But Warlord's boys are getting into the back line, which is definitely great. This unit has been dealt with, so suddenly these Trolls, more Spiders, and more Goblins have been freed up, so they can go where they wish. But that is the Rusty Arrows that have been scared away there, which is a real pity. Hopefully they come back online. It doesn't really matter if there's only 36 of them, you know. They'll still have that armor sundering, so they'll still be useful in that capacity, so long as they can come back. Trolls, they've been dealt with. So again, real pity, but this Ragnarok has taken huge damage, and the back line is, I mean, everything is so spread out, and there's, yeah, Forest Goblin Spider Riders at every junction. It's fantastic. So here you can see the Goblins, brave Goblins, shattering. Yeah, sounds about right. I mean, fair enough, I'd probably shatter too. I'm not sure I'd want to fight any of this, even one-on-one. I don't like my chances. But anyway, I'm not a professional soldier like a Goblin. Anyway, here you can see Savage Orcs getting on top of more archers, but there are some Trolls running in, so that'll be nice. Trolls should get some good damage in the charge there. And of course, the Night Goblin War Boss is hanging back, but it means he can't generate the War like his opponent is. So that's the problem. Forest Goblin Spider Riders don't tend to do a huge amount of damage. So fighting something like a Great Goblin Shaman that's usually very easy to kill in melee, he's going to survive for a long time, be in melee, and generate another War, which he's managed to do. So although he's definitely on the ropes, yeah, the Bloody Hands here, they've got a bit of an opportunity to turn some things around. But he hasn't been able to shut down this back line well enough, you know. These Savage Orcs, they're running too far away, chasing those archers. They need to double back and join the other Savage Orcs, I think. Deal with some of these archers. Stop that constant fire on the Ragnarok. The Ragnarok is a great tool to help break units. You know, that terror is going to be massive. He needs to keep this alive, and he needs to have it backed up by something. Or just let it solo things. And here, that was a miscast, which is kind of strange, because usually he miscasts and uses a spell, but no, he didn't, but he will. He will. This is a strange thing with this replay. I'm not quite sure what happened here. But here we go. He fires that and misses completely. Yeah, that how do you miss this? I mean, it's huge. Anyway, yeah, Ragnarok's basically done. Tormentor Sword on top of him, and Trolls are going to charge in now as well. Rusty Arrow is able to pull out away from that. More Trolls trying to follow up. The Ragnarok has broken, and that was his main tool, you know. Sure, these 8-peak loonies are getting shot at. All they have to do is move forward a bit to deal with them. Yep, Goblin Spider Riders everywhere, just finishing units off. Everything is starting to waver. Army losses beginning to take hold, and it won't be long now. It won't be long. So debuff the Great Shaman, surround it. He shatters. His army follows suit. So Pyrrhic victory. That was very funny. I love this. So thank you, Sladex. I'm not actually going to have horrible words with you. This was very fun. So, but yeah, you can see, like, that front line, mixed results on both sides, which is interesting. It just completely depends on what they were matched with. So Savage Orc Biggins, when they were fighting anything they could deal with, great. But a couple of them did get stuck, either completely surrounded by, you know, by Savage Orcs, or getting shot to pieces and then killed by Black Orcs. It's tough, but one unit just went on an absolute tear. 190 kills, but only 1 chevron, which just shows he wasn't really killing all that effective stuff. But 8-peak loonies and the Warlords boys, they just decimated the other Night Goblins. The Night Goblins got caught out, you know, 1 or 2 units at a time, with the backup of the Forest Goblin Spider Riders poisoning them, and just, oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved the play with the mobility here, because that's something that this army really lacked, and he really needed it, you know? It's not like he had such a sturdy front line that he could just sort of play it safe. No, it was all very offensive units. He had to go on the attack, but he didn't have other things that could flank and, you know, be crafty with. He was hoping he'd just pulverize it from a distance, and I guess just have the Ragnarok as an anchor, which can work, but yeah, Slade X just had all the tools to deal with basically anything the Greenskins can throw at him, which is very interesting. I mean, mirror matches, not often you see them. They tend to be a bit confusing. You probably couldn't have, you probably couldn't tell what the hell was going on in any of the cinematics that I've been showing you. It's a bit confusing. They all look the same, so people don't tend to play them much, you know. People tend to sort of try and pick and counter-pick and whatever, you know, it's what happens. But this was a lot of fun, because Greenskins are silly, and I like silly. Silly is good. But yeah, surprisingly sensible armies for something so silly. Both very cool. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.